I'm who they've been looking for.
Shedeur Sanders is tearing through Europe right now. And this isn't some casual vacation or tourist trip. Chelsea's ownership personally reached out to Shedeur Sanders and his crew, rolling out the red carpet for them at Stamford Bridge Stadium to catch a Premier League match and get the full VIP treatment at one of London's most legendary football venues. Sure, Shedeur isn't suiting up to play on that pitch, but don't get it twisted. This young man is absolutely dominating by taking black culture and influence worldwide. He's transforming into this cultural ambassador, this brand powerhouse, and honestly a straight-up phenomenon on both sides of the ocean. Seeing Shedeur Sanders move through those Stamford Bridge tunnels, taking in all that energy from one of football's most historic stadiums, you could easily think this is just another celebrity showing up for a photo op. But here's what's really happening. This whole thing was Chelsea Football Club making a power move. This was them desperately wanting Shedeur Sanders' stamp of approval, and they mapped out this entire experience like a military operation. Shedeur commands serious influence across America, especially with younger crowds and sports fanatics that Chelsea is dying to reach. The Premier League already dominates as the most watched football league globally, but Chelsea needs to lock down their American market presence. And getting Shedeur Sanders to experience their club up close is exactly how they're going to make that happen. They built this whole visit with this exact strategy in mind, and honestly, it's about to pay off big time.
I'm who they've been looking for.
Now let's break down the genius behind this whole operation. Todd Boehly, this American businessman who owns Chelsea Football Club, has his sights set on making Chelsea more than just a European powerhouse, where soccer is basically religion. He wants Chelsea to become essential viewing for American soccer fans. Boehly gets the American market in ways that most European football executives never will. He knows that winning over American sports fans means you've got to connect with their culture, speak their language, and bring in faces they already recognize and respect. That's exactly why he personally orchestrated this whole Shedeur Sanders experience. He needed Shedeur inside that stadium, soaking up all that Premier League matchday energy, and he even assigned a dedicated employee to shadow Shedeur through the entire visit to guarantee everything went flawlessly. The mission: create such an incredible, unforgettable experience that Shedeur would naturally want to represent Chelsea and blast his experience to his millions of American followers. And Chelsea absolutely crushed it with this visit. While Shedeur was at Stamford Bridge, the owners personally handed him a custom Chelsea jersey. This wasn't some generic merchandise from the team store. This was a completely personalized, made-to-order Chelsea shirt with his name and number stitched on the back, given to him as a gift that represents the relationship Chelsea wants to develop with him. The move was flawless, meaningful, and exactly the kind of personal attention that leaves lasting impact. When Shedeur dropped those photos and videos of himself with that custom jersey, rocking Chelsea blue and showing it off to his millions of followers, that delivered more value than any traditional advertising campaign Chelsea could have bought. That's genuine endorsement gold, and it's the type of natural marketing that no amount of money can replicate. That custom jersey transformed into a symbol of this collaboration, a real representation of the connection being created between American sports culture and European football legacy. This is marketing brilliance, and Todd Boehly earned serious respect for grasping how modern sports branding operates. In our current landscape, influence carries just as much weight as field performance when you're building a worldwide brand. Boehly sees that Shedeur Sanders isn't just another athlete. He's a cultural force, a trendsetter, and someone who draws attention everywhere he appears. By welcoming Shedeur into the Chelsea universe, even for just one day, Boehly is establishing the foundation for a relationship that could generate returns for years ahead. When Shedeur shares his Stamford Bridge experience across his social media channel, when he describes the atmosphere and the intensity of Chelsea supporters, when he flaunts that custom jersey, that content is reaching millions of young Americans who probably never thought about following Chelsea or the Premier League before. That's the impact of influencer marketing in today's sports world. We're all witnessing how massive Shedeur Sanders' brand is becoming. Everyone's watching him. Everyone wants him locked into deals, whether we're talking endorsements, partnerships, or collaboration. This young man has evolved into one of America's most marketable athletes, and his influence keeps expanding every single day. Just recently, he and his brother Shiloh locked in this mind-blowing $100 million contract in Paris with Amiri, that legendary fashion brand that's become the face of luxury streetwear and premium athletic fashion. Let that number hit you for a second. $100 million. That's the type of contract that confirms Shedeur Sanders isn't just a football player. He's a worldwide brand operating on his own level.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up.
It's a better closet for sure.
Look, he's got more freedom now, more time to handle his business.
Now, but we both have swag, you know what I'm saying? We get it from prime time. He hates to say it, but everything he tried to wear, our dad already did, so.
Everyone thinks he's just doing whatever he wants, but there's strategy behind everything. Shedeur is transforming into a household name, not just across America, but throughout Europe too, and his focus is locked on the ultimate goal. He knows exactly what direction he's moving, and he's committed to becoming one of the wealthiest NFL players in the very near future. Every single one of these deals, every visit to elite venues like Stamford Bridge, every partnership with luxury brands, none of this is happening by accident. Shedeur is generating serious wealth, and he's constructing an empire that's going to extend way beyond his playing days. He's positioning himself for lifetime financial success, and he's executing it with class, intelligence, and a grasp of his own worth that's honestly incredible for someone his age. Now let's dive into the NFL aspect of this story. The Cleveland Browns grabbed Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round of the draft, which tons of people saw as highway robbery. While the Browns aren't cutting him checks like a first-round selection would get, Shedeur's influence and the connection he has with fans nationwide are pushing him higher than plenty of players who got picked before him. His jersey sales are breaking records. His social media numbers are insane, and his talent for connecting with fans personally is unbeatable. We all recognized he earned this level of attention from the beginning, and now everyone else is finally realizing what those of us following his story have understood forever. Shedeur Sanders stands for something much bigger than football alone. He represents this new wave of athletes who get that their worth goes way beyond what happens on game day. He gets branding, he gets social media, and he gets how to use his platform to create opportunities that earlier generations of athletes never could have dreamed of. When he steps into Stamford Bridge as Chelsea Football Club's special guest, when he accepts that custom jersey from the owners, he's not playing tourist, he's becoming a partner in this unspoken deal that works for everyone involved. Chelsea gains entry to his American fan base, and Shedeur gets to connect himself with one of the world's most respected football clubs. Everyone wins. This Stamford Bridge visit also shows how sports are becoming more connected across different leagues and different continents. Those days when American football players stuck to their territory and soccer players stayed in theirs are completely over. Today's athletes are global players, and they realize that building a worldwide brand means they need to push past their comfort zones and grab opportunities in markets outside their main sport. Shedeur Sanders completely gets this, and that's why he's ready to fly to London, hang out with Chelsea executives and players, and dive deep into the Premier League world. What makes Shedeur's strategy even more remarkable is that he's managing all of this while staying focused on becoming an elite NFL player. He's not letting the endorsements, the European trips, or the $100 million fashion contracts pull his attention away from his main objective of dominating in professional football. He understands that his performance on the field is what's going to keep his brand strong long-term, and he's dedicated to putting in whatever work it takes to become one of the NFL's top quarterbacks. But he also realizes that in today's sports world, success demands more than just being great at your sport. It demands business intelligence, cultural understanding, and the skill to build real relationships with fans and brands across the globe. The fact that Todd Boehly and Chelsea specifically targeted Shedeur Sanders for this visit tells you everything about how the sports business is changing. Teams aren't satisfied anymore with just signing the most talented players and hoping that winning games will automatically create global popularity. They're actively hunting for partnerships and collaborations with influencers and personalities who can help them connect with new audiences and push their brand into unexplored territories. Shedeur Sanders matches that description perfectly, and Chelsea understood that bringing him to Stamford Bridge would create excitement, generate content, and possibly unlock access to millions of American sports fans who might never have considered following the Premier League otherwise. So here's the bottom line. Shedeur Sanders' Stamford Bridge experience was about way more than just catching a football match. This was a calculated business strategy executed by Todd Boehly and Chelsea Football Club to access Shedeur's enormous American following and build a stronger foothold in the United States market. For Shedeur, this was a chance to keep expanding his global brand, develop valuable relationships in international sports, and prove that he's more than just a quarterback. He's a cultural phenomenon, as he keeps pushing toward becoming one of the wealthiest and most powerful NFL players of his generation. Experiences like this one will be remembered as crucial moments in a career that's turning out to be absolutely legendary. Shedeur Sanders is running wild across Europe, spreading culture and influence everywhere he touches, and we're all witnessing him construct an empire that's going to dominate for generations.